Hello and welcome to History of Dragon Ball. Today we are looking at why we never see Vegeta reach Super Saiyan 3. In the Buu saga of Dragon Ball Z, we see Goku achieve the next form beyond an ascended Super Saiyan, with us getting to see Super Saiyan 3 while he is trying to stall Fat Buu. Then later on in the Dragon Ball Super story, and the GT storyline too if we want to include that, we never see Vegeta achieve this form himself, despite reaching the levels that surpass this one. But the question is, just why would he not have hit this level himself? Or did he actually do it, and we just never get to see it? Well, there are a couple of reasons as to why this is never the case. But firstly though, I think it would be worth having a quick look at this transformation in general, as this will help us get a better understanding of all things to do with it. This form is focused on the increase in the use of Ki. Therefore, although more powerful than Super Saiyan 2, it also consumes a lot more energy than any of the other transformations as well. But with this added drain in energy, the user does get or vastly increased speed, strength, and endurance. So the payoff it takes for this added power is that it is extremely hard to maintain. In the end, this transformation appears as though it is best used in quick powerful bursts as opposed to an entire battle. It's just not sustainable. For example, later on in Super we see Vegeta in the manga and Goku in the anime use the technique to switch between Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue to utilize these forms to their highest potential, with them using the speed of the Super Saiyan God but the power of the Super Saiyan Blue, meaning they can maximize their use of power and speed while only using minimal stamina. So I believe that this would also be the best way to use Super Saiyan 3 if it was going to be used at all. But now that we have briefly covered that, let's return to the question at hand, and that is why Vegeta appears to just skip this form completely. One of the main things with Vegeta's character is that he is very smart and battle savvy. He can understand and break things down far quicker than most others. If we look back to the Cell Saga in Z, Vegeta knows about the bulked up form of Super Saiyan that Trunks shows off later, but he is smart enough to realise that despite how much it increases the user's strength, the dramatic loss of speed that went with it meant that it was just not worth using, something that Trunks never realised. Therefore, I believe, although Vegeta realises Super Saiyan 3 does increase the power of the user so much, the negative effects of the stamina reduction just outweigh this truly being a transformation that was worth using. At the end of the day, we have to remember that if a Saiyan can truly master the Super Saiyan form, and I mean truly master it, they can surpass what Super Saiyans 2 and 3 can obtain, without the massive stamina drains. And that has been stated by Akira Toriyama himself. 2 and 3 are just powered up variants of Super Saiyan, so mastering Super Saiyan could give you the same power while draining far less energy. If we look at the moment in Battle of Gods to back this up, when we get the legendary "That's my power!" we see an enraged Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta has surpassed a Super Saiyan 3 Goku. He can land a punch where Goku does not even come close. It shows that just because 3 comes after 2 does not mean it is completely better. Then we also have another less story focused reason for this as well, which could simply be put down to the animators. Now this theory is one that is perhaps a little less interesting as it has nothing to do with the characters, but at the end of the day it can be an important factor. And that is that it was simply just too much effort to have to keep drawing all that hair over and over again. So simply, it was far easier for Vegeta to never use the Super Saiyan 3 transformation and go straight on to the likes of Super Saiyan Blue and Super Saiyan God, as it meant that this could probably save potentially days in the animator's studio. So the ideas I mentioned previously really just end up as a way to explain it in universe, but this was potentially not the sole reason for doing so. So what does this really all mean in the end? Well, I do believe that Vegeta has the ability and the drive that if he genuinely wanted to reach this form, he could. But he is smarter than the average warrior, so realizes he could focus his time and energy on growing stronger in more useful and practical ways. One of Vegeta's main drives is to become more powerful and surpass Goku, and Vegeta believes the best way to do this is through his own raw power, and that the use of any special techniques and forms is almost just a way of cheating. His Saiyan pride will just not let him go down that route. He has to do it alone, or at least nearly all alone, as it took a long time, but when he finally met literal gods and angels, Vegeta finally accepted the idea of being taught by someone else, and for once, not go it alone. Now, whether he realized this was because they could really teach him something more powerful, or just that he got too scared that Goku would get too far ahead being trained by them himself, we don't really know. But once Vegeta realized just how far ahead Goku got after achieving Super Saiyan God himself, he knew he had to do something different. It's really something that makes the Goku-Vegeta dynamic just so good. They keep pushing each other, bouncing off each other, yet rarely learn the same techniques and powers unless they are somehow related to their Saiyan blood. It's that idea of having polar opposites trying to reach the same goal, and it's why I'm so glad that Vegeta has become so much more central and influential in the Dragon Ball Super storyline. And now let's take a little break here before we round this up, because I thought it would be fun to just have a little section at looking at all the different versions of Super Saiyan 3 we ever get to see. So starting with canon, we obviously only ever get to see Goku and Gotenks in the Buu Saga of Dragon Ball Z, as well as Goku in Fusion Reborn and Battle of Gods movies, and Gotenks in the Wrath of Dragon movie. But then this is where we get onto the more fun versions from the game, so something that we never get to see in the show. So I will fly through these quickly, but like I said, I thought it would just be something fun to do. So, along with the obviously Goku and Gotenks versions, we have Vegeta, Broly, Future Trunks, GT Trunks, Gogeta, GT Vegeta, Future Gohan, Adult Gotenks, Vegeto, Xeno Bardock, Xeno Trunks, Adult Gohan, Xeno Gotenks, Raditz, Nappa, and Kumba. So these are just a bit of fun, but it shows that there is definitely some love for this transformation, even if not by Vegeta himself, as it does seem to keep making its return. And I especially like to see the versions of Nappa and Raditz, as you know, they just look that little bit different. But so there we have it, a look at just why Vegeta either never obtained the Super Saiyan 3 form, or even if he did, why he never ever used it. Vegeta is just too smart of a warrior to go after a form with such a big downside. And this is the kind of reason why Vegeta is truly a superior warrior to Goku, but is just too stubborn in wanting to do pretty much everything on his own. And I know that might rile up a few people, but I do honestly believe, naturally, Vegeta is a better warrior. Goku is just willing to accept the help of others, which often puts him that one step ahead. And now that I have finished, and I hope you enjoyed this video, it leads me to my question for you all today, which is, what is your opinion on the Super Saiyan 3 transformation? Do you like it or do you hate it? Do you wish they had used it more or just left it all alone? Or even, do you wish Toriyama had left it with a tail like he originally planned to give it? Or are you glad he left it out? Let me know all of your thoughts and opinions on these things in the comments below. And now that we are at the end of the video, I would ask if you are enjoying the content here, please subscribe to the channel and even share the video if you found it useful or just slightly interesting. And I will leave you now with a thank you if you have managed to reach the very end of this video with me, and I will see you next time on History of Dragon Ball.